It may surprise you to hear this, but if you're seeing this now, it's no coincidence. Something monumental is about to unfold in just a few days, a shift so powerful that the attention on you will surge in ways most around you never saw coming. If you watch for at least 13 minutes, you'll realize you're fully prepared for what's ahead. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 to signal to the universe that you're open. Then leave another comment, ready for what's next, in your own natural voice. This action will trigger immediate, tangible benefits and bring in a fresh phase of transformation. Chapter 1. You can feel the change in the air. Every so often, you sense that unmistakable anticipation, like a spark in the atmosphere. Right now, it's stronger than ever. Perhaps you've experienced goosebumps for no clear reason, or noticed your thoughts drifting to vivid possibilities you once thought were fantasy. This isn't random. As someone chosen, your spirit detects shifts before they manifest in the physical world. You're not just sensing subtle changes, you're actively contributing to bringing them into being. Recently, you may have noticed some tasks becoming effortless, while old obstacles either vanished or no longer seem relevant. It's as if the universe is clearing your path, preparing you for a massive spotlight that's about to shine on your journey. Meanwhile, people around you, friends or coworkers, might notice something different about you, but can't quite pinpoint what it is. To them, it could feel like your energy is stronger, your presence more commanding, your voice more resonant. Deep down, you understand this is because the universe is aligning circumstances for a significant revelation. This alignment may feel surreal because you've spent much of your life in relative obscurity. You've carried untapped potential that went unnoticed or unrecognized by those around you. But just because you were hidden doesn't mean you don't have a destined purpose. Often, the universe shields chosen ones until the right time, allowing them to grow in quiet strength. Now that shield is lifting. Your moment is close, just days away from a surge in attention on your story. This shift might come with both rewards and challenges. Once the news about you spreads, new demands may arise. People might expect more from you or try to attach themselves to your growing influence. But your spirit is ready. You've been guided through quieter trials for this very reason, to ensure that when you step into the spotlight, you will not be overwhelmed, but rather thrive in it. Pause for a moment and recognize how far you've come. You can feel the old limitations crumbling away, as if a mental barrier lifts and reveals endless possibilities. If tension or fear arise, that's normal. Even exhilarating changes can disrupt your routine. But remember, routine was never meant to be your final destination. You've known from the start you were called to disrupt normality, to break past what others considered your limit. Now that calling is breathing life into your immediate future, turning what once felt distant into a reality that's practically around the corner. Chapter 2. Your past pain turned into raw power. If you trace your journey, you'll find chapters stained with heartbreak, rejection, and uncertainty. Those nights of tears or anxious days left marks on your soul, yet they didn't break you, they refined you. As a chosen one, you don't just bounce back from adversity, you transform it into power. That power is precisely what sets you apart. When big breaks or revelations come your way, where others buckle under the spotlight, your scars keep you grounded. Think about the times you felt utterly alone, thinking no one saw your struggles. God saw every tear and used those moments to strengthen your resolve. You likely realize that people's opinions can't bury you when your spirit remains anchored in truth. Over time, each painful event became spiritual fuel, a reminder that if you survive that, you can face almost anything else. Now, with the news about you set to explode, your emotional endurance becomes a priceless asset. You won't crumble under public scrutiny or half-hearted praise. Instead, you'll stand firm, aware that no hype or negativity can overshadow the honest self-discovery that molded you. Your joy and confidence aren't shallow bravado. They're rooted in the knowledge that if life tried to break you before and failed, it can't break you now. Naysayers or doubters might resurface, whether they're old acquaintances or new faces attempting to downplay your progress. In response, your scars speak volumes. Those critics see your success, But they don't see the nights you wrestled with despair, forging mental stamina that outlives fleeting chatter. Even if they try to sully your name, the authenticity gained from your trials wins over trivial rumors. You're not a naive newcomer. You're a proven warrior who overcame personal storms long before any public recognition arrived. Additionally, your transformed pain radiates an empathy that draws genuine supporters. People sense you're not just spouting motivational phrases, you've lived through the darkness. So when you talk about growth or faith, it resonates deeper than superficial slogans. This authenticity forges tight bonds with those who see in you a living testament to resilience. The big news swirling around your life thus becomes more than a personal triumph. It's a beacon for those still stuck in their own hardships, reminding them that heartbreak can bloom into unimaginable strength. In short, your wounds no longer define you as a victim. They define you as a victor. And as the world starts to notice your story, those old pains morph into undeniable proof that you've earned every bit of what's coming. Let that knowledge propel you forward, unashamed of what you overcame. Instead, brandish it like a banner of survival, letting the universe know you're ready for blessings equal to or surpassing the magnitude of the storms you survived. Chapter 3, you're on the cusp of a rapid unfolding. Some shifts trickle in slowly, but what's approaching you now feels more like a sudden flood. People talk about slow and steady progress, but God can also work in swifts and surges. Once you align with divine timing, your life can pivot from standby to launch mode almost overnight. The sense that things will happen in a few days isn't hype. It's the universe finalizing details behind the scenes and waiting for the perfect moment to present them all at once. You might sense pangs of nervous excitement, like an electrical current forming in your gut. It's the same mix of thrill and fear you feel standing on a precipice, knowing a grand view awaits if you just step forward. The universe is setting the stage for unexpected phone calls, last-minute invites, or surprise messages that confirm you're pivoting into a new season. Where doors once slammed shut, you'll find them opening wide. This transformation can be so abrupt that it leaves people around you astonished or even unsettled. To handle such a fast transition, ground yourself in daily practices. Maybe a brief prayer at dawn or a short meditation. Remind your soul that you're not alone in this leap. God's hand guides each phone call or new alliance, so you don't have to scramble in anxiety. Trust that if an offer or connection is truly meant for you, the universe will help you meet it with readiness, not confusion. The key is to remain flexible and unattached to old routines. Swift blessings often require a willingness to rearrange your schedule or relocate your mindset on short notice. Some around you might respond with disbelief or caution, saying, "Things don't happen that fast," or "Don't get your hopes up." Politely ignore that cynicism. Those who operate from a limited perspective can't grasp the leaps possible under divine orchestration. Chosen ones understand that a single day can reshape entire trajectories when cosmic favor aligns. If doubts bubble up within you, recall smaller moments in your past where a door appeared out of nowhere, granting a reprieve or opportunity you never planned for. Yes, there might be chaos in the swirling suddenness, moments where you scramble to finalize details or gather resources you didn't think you'd need so soon. But even that chaos holds a spark of exhilaration. A new chapter demands new levels of adaptation. Don't let a bit of mess deter you from seizing an unprecedented chance. Embrace the energy surge. This is precisely how you prove to yourself and to God that you're not just passively waiting for blessings, but boldly ready to integrate them into your life story. Chapter 4. Your name is about to make waves in quiet corners. Rumors or whispers about your potential have likely been circulating for a while. Perhaps colleagues praised your quiet excellence, or a small circle recognized your talent. But that low-key chatter is about to swell into a more public fanfare. People who never thought you'd break a certain mold will be forced to acknowledge your new status. This influx of recognition may seem surreal, especially if you've grown used to feeling overlooked. Yet God is orchestrating the unveiling, ensuring you're neither overshadowed nor unprepared. This wave of attention isn't random hype. It's the universe's method of amplifying the impact of your gifts. Chosen ones don't ascend just for personal glory, but to shine light in ways that change collective narratives. By having your name in the spotlight, doors open, contacts reach out, and networks expand. Each new collaboration or mention extends your capacity to influence fields that need your authenticity. The impetus behind it all, a destiny that ensures your unique voice contributes to healing or innovation. Admittedly, sudden popularity can spark anxiety. You might question if you can handle the demands, more eyes on you, more opinions, more attempts at intrusion, yet your earlier struggles taught you resilience. Those heartbreaks and challenges were training for bigger engagements. Where some crumble under scrutiny, you remain firm, knowing no external commentary can surpass the unwavering voice of God in your life. You'll likely notice acquaintances or distant relatives popping up, seeking connection or a piece of your newfound clout. Discern carefully. Not everyone who reappears does so from pure motives. In your calm wisdom, you can embrace genuine supporters while establishing boundaries against opportunists. This doesn't have to be dramatic. A gracious but guarded approach protects you from emotional or material drain. Also remember that high visibility can tempt ego or self-importance. Don't let the applause lure you into complacency. Instead, see each nod of recognition as a resource. More people learning of your mission, more impetus for you to keep your values intact. The real measure of success for a chosen one is how effectively you integrate divine insights into mainstream paradigms. Public acclaim without deeper purpose means little, but when you harness that acclaim to elevate truth, compassion, and spiritual clarity, you stay aligned with the reason God drew attention to you in the first place. Chapter 5. You're freeing yourself from inherited limits, whether from family traditions, cultural norms, or your own lingering self-doubts. There have been inherited limits that once caged you in. Perhaps you grew up believing that success should only come gradually, or that your aspirations were too grand to be practical. These mindsets often stem from generational patterns, where each generation only accomplishes so much and unconsciously passes that silent ceiling down the line. Yet, as a chosen one, your role is to shatter that invisible barrier. The big shift you sense is part of God's plan to break generational stagnation through you, creating a new legacy for those who follow. Reflect on your upbringing. Maybe your elders urged you to stick to safe routes, touting stability over risk. Their intentions may have been protective, but fear shaped their worldview, making bold ambitions feel like reckless gambles. Over time, that caution may have seeped into your subconscious, constraining your idea of what's possible. Now, as major doors swing open, you're compelled to confront and release these inherited fears. No part of the universe aligns with the notion that this is as far as you can go. You're meant to transcend every barrier, including those handed down through generations. In the coming days, you might experience an emotional detox, where long-buried anxieties resurface. Nighttime dreams could feel more vivid, reflecting the subconscious release of old limitations. You might have random moments of unease, wondering, am I actually prepared? Recognize these fleeting doubts for what they are, echoes of past conditioning that no longer resonate with your present or your future. Write them down, pray them out, or confide in someone you trust. Bringing these inner narratives into the light dissolves their power. You shift from inherited fear to a faith that you've deliberately chosen and nurtured. Once you dismantle these mental constraints, you'll see that they never truly defined you. Without the drag of outdated beliefs, your choices become noticeably bolder. Instead of agonizing over whether you're worthy or allowed to dream this big, you'll evaluate each opportunity against your God-given calling. This renewed clarity fosters an agility that allows you to seize those life-changing moments, accelerating the major shift you've sensed stirring in your spirit. The more you trust that you're meant to exceed past parameters, the more the universe conspires to confirm it. Of course, those in your immediate circle, family or close friends, may be puzzled by your leap. If they still cling to the old mindset, they might label your actions as irresponsible or accuse you of abandoning tradition. Yet watch how perspectives shift once they witness the tangible outcomes of your faith. The same voices that cautioned you to stay small may shift to admiration when they realize you've broken a ceiling that benefited everyone. In the end, that's how legacies evolve. One person breaks the mold, modeling a new standard for what's possible, and inviting others to follow suit. As you walk through doors never opened before, you inspire others to confront and transcend their own inherited limits in practical terms. This evolution can involve changing your habits or environment. Maybe you begin surrounding yourself with visionaries who reinforce that your bigger-than-life dreams are not only valid, but divinely endorsed. You might discover new mentors, spiritual, professional, or creative, who help you reframe your inherited beliefs into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Even your daily routines might shift, reflecting the growing conviction that you're on a path beyond the common limitations of your past. This isn't about dismissing your lineage. It's about honoring it by going further than previous generations thought was feasible. You could also find yourself navigating unexpected emotional territory, such as guilt for surpassing loved ones' achievements. Recognize that your growth doesn't diminish them. It actually enriches the collective family story. When you thrive, it becomes a source of hope, showing that progress is possible for everyone. Over time, your relatives may come to see your strides not as a betrayal of tradition, but as an expansion of it, turning what was once unimaginable into a new normal. In the larger cosmic design, your willingness to smash inherited limitations doesn't just alter your personal trajectory, it reshapes entire family trees. Future generations won't inherit the same cautions or limiting beliefs. Instead, they'll see the legacy of someone who stepped beyond the norm. They'll grow up knowing that more is possible and that risk in pursuit of a God-given dream can yield immeasurable blessings. By daring to sidestep the script handed to you, you're effectively rewriting the narratives of generations yet to come. So if in these final days before tomorrow's unveiling you sense the tug of ancestral fear, approach it with compassion but refuse to let it dictate your path. You're here to prove that impossible ceilings were merely illusions. Your breakthroughs will resonate through your bloodline, granting those who come after you the gift of an unrestricted horizon. That's the true power of a chosen one, to not only liberate yourself from invisible chains, but to simultaneously illuminate the way for others to do the same, forever altering the inheritance of an entire lineage. Chapter 6. Your next moves trigger a domino effect. As the universe accelerates your path, even small actions you take, sending a particular email, meeting a new mentor, or saying yes to an unexpected invite, can cascade into large-scale impact. One decision can spark a chain reaction of blessings. This is how chosen ones transform from waiting on destiny to actively co-creating it. People around you might see it as luck, but you recognize the subtle synergy between your faith-filled steps and God's responsive orchestration. Imagine a domino chain. You position yourself by clearing negative beliefs. You place the first tile by showing up to an event or volunteering for a project. And then God tips the next tile. Suddenly, doors you never knocked on swing open. Your name crosses influential desks. Allies vouch for you in rooms you've never entered. Each tile triggers the next, and the momentum builds in a direction that nobody planned, except the higher realm. This unstoppable wave can seem miraculous, yet you sense it's the natural outcome of your alignment. Be prepared, though. Domino cascades can be both exhilarating and disorienting. You might finalize a deal on Monday, only to find by Thursday you're being considered for another opportunity that didn't even exist last week. If your mind fights to keep up with normal pacing, you risk stalling the chain by hesitation. Instead, trust your instincts. Let each new door find you open and discerning, not paralyzed by analysis. This fluid readiness ensures that the chain reaction flows uninterrupted. At the same time, remain grounded. Growth should never compromise your ethics or spiritual integrity. Chapter 6 continued. If a questionable proposition arrives, no matter how lucrative, evaluate it against your moral compass. Narcissistic or exploitative forces sometimes insert themselves into high-speed breakthroughs, hoping to hitch a ride. A chosen one with honed discernment can filter out those illusions swiftly. Sometimes refusing the wrong tile is critical for the chain reaction to keep a beneficial direction. Another aspect of this domino effect is the ripple on other people's lives. By stepping into your calling, you unknowingly open paths for them too. Perhaps a friend who's felt stuck sees your advancement and finally believes they can break free from their own rut. or a younger relative gets inspired by your unstoppable spirit and commits to their dreams wholeheartedly. The beauty of a chosen one's momentum is that it rarely benefits just you. It elevates your entire network to some degree. That's how you anchor lasting transformation, not just a solitary victory. When you sense the first tile tipping, do not resist. Surrender to the flow, trusting that each subsequent tile is part of a heavenly design. By leaning into this chain reaction, you honor the message that indeed, in a matter of days, your life can catapult from simmering potential to radiant actuality. The universe loves synergy, and your courage to move forward invites that synergy to multiply. Stand firm, keep your eyes open, and watch as a cosmic choreography unfolds, orchestrating a future that dwarfs any scenario you once imagined. Chapter 7. You're set to confirm God's promise. Everything so far leads to this. In the coming days, you'll watch the universe validate promises that once felt too bold to utter. As a chosen one, even whispered prayers, pleaded in secret or jotted down as dreams in journals, often left you wondering if God really heard you or if you were just talking to yourself. Now, reality is about to reveal that those prayers were never in vain. Each request echoed in the spiritual realm, weaving itself into a tapestry of blessings that are finally converging in your everyday life. In this convergence, you realize how precise divine timing can be. If these breakthroughs had arrived earlier, you might have squandered them or lacked the maturity to steward them. If they came too late, frustration could have eroded your faith. But God's orchestration ensures that events align exactly when your heart is ready. The synchronicity of it all can leave you awestruck. You'll see how random encounters, painful detours, and improbable coincidences were all crucial threads in the bigger plan. Alongside gratitude, you might wrestle with disbelief. The magnitude of receiving precisely what you asked for can seem surreal, but your job now is to embrace it. Resist the urge to self-sabotage by second-guessing or downplaying the blessing. That humility that once kept you safe from arrogance shouldn't cross over into false modesty that prevents you from fully occupying the space God carved out for you. A chosen one receives not out of entitlement, but out of alignment with the divine purpose. Your confirmation also draws spectators. People who doubted your convictions witness how the universe steps in to back you. Their perspective may shift from ridiculing your faith to inquiring about how to cultivate their own. This is yet another reason why God elevates you. Your visible manifestation of answered prayers can ignite hope in those who've lost faith in miracles. Even the skeptics can't deny when the intangible becomes tangible before their eyes. As you stand on the edge of manifested promises, hold tight to your sense of purpose. Let your blessings serve as a platform for service, an opportunity to spread love and light. Yes, celebrate with all your heart. You've weathered storms that would have broken many, and your victory is hard-earned. But also ask yourself, how can I use this newfound blessing to reflect God's goodness and multiply blessings for others? Answering that question with sincerity keeps your spiritual focus aligned with humility and stewardship. So prepare yourself. In just a few days, you'll witness the layers peel away, revealing exactly what your heart has longed for. Some may call it destiny or fate, but you know it's the divine fulfilling a covenant made with your soul when you courageously chose this journey. The unveiling is upon you. Stand ready, eyes wide open, heart receptive, because what God promised is about to unfold before you, undeniable and radiant, proving once again that faith combined with patience brings forth wonders beyond imagination.